I've edited these 2 books in this series published by Voice of Witness and McSweeney's that look at various crises in the world and try and address those crises by actually talking to people and have very lengthy interviews. So it's very hard for me to put this in like a soundbite, but I'm going to do the best I can. So this is Zimbabwe. As you know, Zimbabwe is in southern Africa. Got a great deal of problems going on. A dictator, Robert Mugabe, he won't give up power. Things are not good. I'm going to put you in Harare. This is last year when I was in Harare. I'm going to read a bit of a brief essay that I wrote, and then I'm going to go into one of the narrators of the book, a guy named Sanko, who's a pretty amazing guy who, most amazing thing about him is that he's still alive. It's been raining in Harare for the last few days, and the city is overgrown and green. Summer weeds grow tall beside the roads. All is quiet, as if the capital were holding its breath, waiting. Driving across the city at night, there are only a few streetlights. Headlights pick up people walking by the side of the road. Others walk down the median. Most traffic lights no longer function. They're just hollow eyes in the dark. Few cars on the road. At intersections, people are polite to each other, hesitant. You go. No, after you, please. Drive by Harare City Hall, completely dark. Drive by Harare General Hospital, completely dark. Only certain government buildings have power tonight, notably President Mugabe's official residence in the center of town, State House, the lights of which are only dimly visible through the thick trees. Some statistics estimate that at least 1/3 of the population has fled, and every day the Zimbabwean diaspora becomes larger. They're leaving because of brutal political violence, lack of jobs, the almost total breakdown of the education and healthcare systems, and rising rates of deadly disease, most notably cholera. It's impossible to know if this 1/3 estimate is correct, but the city certainly feels emptier than the last time I was there. This week, the government issued $1 trillion bill. Yet no matter how often new denominations are issued, inflation keeps rising. Today's rate can be found on the chalkboard at a favorite coffee shop, 34 trillion Zimbabwe dollars to $1 American dollar. Word in the coffee shop is that soldiers are paid in bundles of cash that are dumped out of trucks like hay bales. Someone else mentions, laughing, that people are driving by State House, Mugabe's house, and throwing Zim dollars out the window of their cars. And people laugh and laugh over the zeros. What choice do they have but to laugh? On the street now, it's almost completely an American dollar economy. Milk is $2 American dollars. A Mars bar can go for as much as $4 at the gas station. A bag of maize is between 8 and 10. Most people, though, don't have any American dollars. A woman, a young mother, tells me she's proud and also lucky to still have her job as a secretary. It's only that she isn't being paid. Another man, a former teacher at an elite private school in Harare, tells me that he had to stop teaching. How can I love these children, he says, if I know what some of their parents do? So this is a guy from Harare. I interviewed him in Johannesburg. He's on the run. He had to flee the country. His name is Sanko. Sanko doesn't raise his voice. He never becomes emotional or angry. He can quote passages of the Bible from memory. He has a remarkable memory for dates as well as certain details, such as the colors and makes of cars. His tone rarely changes, even when he's describing in detail being tortured. A former security guard and barber, Sanko, by his own admission, is an unlikely man to become a serious political activist. He was imprisoned, tortured on numerous occasions. Not one to back down if he disagrees, Sanko often found himself not only at odds with the government, but also with the leadership of his own party, the opposition party, the MDC. I met him in Johannesburg, and I interviewed him for many, many hours over the course of 3 days in the back of a chicken restaurant. Nando's, it's called. As a child, Sanko says, I was very quiet, maybe stubborn and somehow intelligent, you know? I didn't want to talk too much, I always kept quiet. It might appear as if I'm a slow learner, but I'll catch up. As a child, I loved reading and just fiddling with things. I'm a person who, if I see a cell phone is not working, I just try and fix it. I also drew some cartoons. If somebody was treating me bad, I'd draw them in a cartoon. I remember one day there was a soldier called Mutani who fell in love with this girl called Zanzini. I was in love with Zanzini also. I was only a schoolboy. He was in the army. He was taking out my girl, or the girl who I wanted to be my girl. So I cartooned him. I put the pictures around the ground where we used to play football. This guy was very angry, this soldier, and he tried to beat me, but I showed him that I was stubborn. I resisted. So I'm going to jump ahead in his life. He becomes a political activist and a security guard for a man named Morgan Tsvangirai, who's the current prime minister of Zimbabwe. Tsvangirai has about 18 lives. He's survived more assassination attempts than probably any living current political figure. His wife was killed last year in a suspicious car accident. He is often on the run, and at this point, he's being arrested again, once again, with his very good friend Gabriel, who is now dead, murdered, and Sanko is the only one alive to tell the story. That day, the whole of the Harvest House was surrounded by the police. Even the roads were barricaded. So to get out, we went through the window and found a pipe, a draining pipe for the toilet. On the other side of Harvest House, on the ground floor, there was a beauty salon. We slid down the pipe to the salon, and we took a seat in the chairs and pretended we were there to get a shave. Well, we thought it was okay, but then the police came and started harassing the staff of the salon, and one guy said, "These two guys over there, they're not customers." So we were arrested again, and they started asking us our names. I kept quiet. Gabriel kept quiet. They searched Gabriel and found his wallet, and they saw his ID and said, "Ah, it's Gabriel." They searched me, and I didn't have anything. They took my phone and asked me my name, and I said, "I'm Joshua Manzibo." I just created a name, Joshua Manzibo. They beat Gabriel badly. "Where is Chari?" they asked. "You're always movie with Sanko Chari. Where is Chari?" But Gabriel kept quiet. They charged him and some others with the bombings. They still didn't know who I was, so they released me. I have that kind of face. I'm able to mix into a crowd. I'm not easy to remember. But I couldn't stay out of Harare, and I couldn't stay out of politics, and eventually they pick him up again. And now he's being interrogated. In one of the rooms, they started to interview me. One cop came in smiling nicely and said, "Oh, how are you, Captain?" I kept on looking at him. Then he said, "Why are you not answering me, Captain?" I said, "I'm not Captain. My name is Chari, and I'm not Captain of anything." "Fine, fine, you're joking again. But you're going to start telling us the truth soon." They took me to another police station, driving very fast. It was now around 1 o'clock in the morning when I was put into another cell. I was starting to sleep when I heard my name being called. I stepped out of the cell. I was grabbed and given a clap on the face. A crack below my right eye started bleeding. I tried to see, but I couldn't. I was handcuffed again, my hands behind my back, and taken out to a white Mazda B1800 pickup truck. At the back of the Mazda was a coffin. One of them opened it. He said, "What do you see?" There's a dead person inside. I told him what I saw. He said, "Yeah, it's one of your MDC members. He is dead, and you also are dead." They took the corpse out and put it in the truck. Then they ordered me to go inside the coffin. I closed it and started driving. Inside that coffin, I can't tell you what I was thinking. Say you're driving and you think you're about to have a head-on collision, then you know this is death. You definitely won't think anything. You won't even think of running away or whatever. You just think of facing it. Even right now, I often don't feel like I'm alive. I really don't understand it. Even when I come across other people, I just feel like people are seeing a dead person. You look at me, and I feel dead. After some time, maybe hours, the vehicle stopped. I could hear voices, and somebody asked, "Where's that pit?" One of them opened the coffin. I was lying, looking up. I could see only the tall trees and the stars in the sky. Then this guy started whispering and saying, "Sanko, I hear you're from Mutsi, so you're my relative. I don't want you to die. Cooperate with these guys. Say whatever they want. Just cooperate." I said, "It's okay, it's okay." And then he called the other guys and said, "Guys, listen, Chari wants to cooperate." I didn't know what was meant by cooperation, but still I said, "It's okay, it's okay." I was still inside the coffin. I'll stop there. Thank you.